you want another one?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
It's whatever you are.
We'll call the July 10th, 2023, 6:30 p.m. meeting of the Westport Town Council to order. We will stand and give pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have a chance to read.
The minutes of the meeting that was sent to us, I have had a chance to read, and I accept them as sent. Oh, except, I did have some question. There was two, no, not the deeds, funeral flowers sent. They were for the same person on the budget. You didn't say that.
No, one was for, one was for,
There was two for Roy.
oh, it would, okay, then I'll have to separate them, because one was for the Hursley.
There's one for him too.
Go ahead, John.
Yes,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, just look at it if you would, and
I will.
then we'll, you want them signed now or later? I mean, the budget, do you want us to?
Joyce had a question about
Yeah,
the
I'll
minutes.
take care of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's going to take care of that for me, and everything else, when I read it, was fine.
Okay. All right, I have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes of June 12th.
Except with the adjustments?
Have a
Was
second?
it just a question?
Yes, go ahead.
She's going to adjust it.
Okay. I'll accept with the adjustment.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
I have a second.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, approval of funeral deeds, payroll vouchers, adjustments, and monthly bills. We have funeral deeds.
Nope.
No,
Okay, scratch that out. Okay, payroll vouchers, adjustment, monthly bills. Everybody had a chance to read those.
I have, and other than she's going to check and fix, I make the motion that we approve those.
You have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All righty, next up is the property updates at 508 North Rain Street and 728 Washington Street. So the people there, representatives, or
State your name and what you came up with, please.
George, state your name and why that you're here.
Oh, George Can, and I'm here to discuss the property on 508 North Range.
All right, what's your update?
Well, we've got the place in pretty good shape. I don't know if you've talked to Damon, but I had him come up about 2 weeks ago and go through the house. And I didn't talk to him after that. My carpenter went with him through the house, and the fellow from Greensburg, Ken, there at the Plan Commission, said that he would accept the structural part. And he wanted us to get a permit to start with the electrical and the plumbing.
George, one thing we also asked for when we had a report on your house, it was incomplete. It was just one page. And we asked at the next meeting, which wasn't attended,
Yeah.
but this
Uh,
one is the full report on the house inspection.
I'll be honest with you about that. The inspector came not long before or after Damon had been there for a few days, but his report was damning. I mean, it seemed to me that he never put anything on there that we had done. And he found everything he could find wrong with it. And I just felt that the report, it was worse to turn it in than not to, be honest with you. But, the house is structurally very sound. The older part of the house is the original house, and it's 170 years old. And you can't expect it to be like a new house, but it was in remarkably good shape. There were things we did to it, but it was in pretty fair shape.
But George, I understand that, but one thing that we did ask for was the complete report. How can we,
Well, I got it here, but it's now that we've done so much. I have it. Talk to Damon and see what he thinks about it.
Talk to him, but
the report we got from Damon, George, that there's a lot of termite damage in there, a lot of electrical work that needed replaced, and some of your contractor, whether this is true or not, you can verify it, that you had your contractor was laying OSB over termite floor joists.
Well, we had Cardinal from Greensburg came down and sprayed it outside and inside. We talked to him about. I don't think that so much going to be a problem because we replaced this an awful lot of floor joists.
But it goes back to George, how can we make a good evaluation when we don't even have, we have one sheet, which is not the full report of when you had the house inspected.
The best evaluation, you go up there and look at it, see what was done. And like I say, this is old. This was not too long after Damon went through that first time. I've had trouble getting carpenters and keeping carpenters, and it's just hard for me.
But with the people, the person that you had, is that person a licensed contractor that's working on your house? Is it a licensed contractor?
Well, I think one of them was, we've had some that weren't.
Well, that can get to be a problem at times.
Don't people have a right to repair their own property?
When we're talking about so much structural damage and going back and inspecting that so that it's a safe place to live in, that becomes a different issue. And running electrical wiring.
Well, I know what's wrong with the electrical part. There are some old circuits, just a few that should have been maybe taken out before, but they just take them out. The problem I studied a little bit. The boxes, breaker boxes are still in good shape, and the breakers are too. Wadsworth breakers. They had some trouble with them. And I believe the company went out of business 40, 50 years ago.
That
But there's another company that makes breakers.
That may be, George, and kind of help speed things along. I don't need you standing up there forever. But January 2023, when you refused an inspection on the property, then Alex, our attorney, filed a request for an inspection warrant due to lack of cooperation, and the warrant was granted on January 17, 2023. Okay, the property was inspected January the 18th, 2023, and a public hearing was scheduled for February the 13th. An order on unsafe premise was filed January the 23rd, 2023, and the property was ordered to bring into compliance March the 31st, 2023. The Westport Town Council had a public hearing on February the 13th with your daughter in attendance and your attorney to report on the status of the property. And when we did that, this was all that was brought in, was just one sheet. We requested the rest of the inspection report, and it wasn't. And George, and then I'll let you speak. We asked you to be here, and then for 2 months, we never, I think it's two meetings, we haven't seen you at all.
Well, Beth had to work last time. We just thought we were gonna table it, so that's fine.
But do you have the rest of the inspection report this evening?
And he walked through the property and he signed off that it was structurally sound. I don't know, I was not involved with that, so I don't know if we have that on paper. But Kenny has been there and he said it was fine to continue. And that's when Dad was told to get the building permit.
But
So is there a building permit on file?
Yes.
Because I didn't see it posted out near the road.
Yeah, it's in the
Oh,
window.
it's in the window.
It's in the window, yeah.
It's supposed to be out near the road. I didn't see it in the window.
We can move it to the road, but it's.
So then Kenny is doing periodic inspections throughout the building permit process.
Well, hey, I went over January 2nd or 3rd. I told Damon that we hadn't got no furniture. We didn't really know all together ourselves. And you went ahead and got the permit. And we didn't turn him down. He was just waiting up there. And we decided it's not inspected that day, and we tried for another one. We never turned him down on that after you got the door.
okay, George, so you're in a process of getting that fixed. Okay, here's where we're at a loggerhead, logjam, whatever you want to call it, is this can't be an open time frame. What's your time frame of getting that done? Oh, it's we're gonna hold you to a time frame.
Well, there's one that I propose that you put the two properties together and give us to the end of October, 30 days.
October 2023.
And then you're saying that by October 2023, you will have both properties in a livable condition and pass inspection.
Be livable, but
And pass inspection.
we'll have all the paperwork and all that. Do what we can do.
George, could I ask you a question? Is there someone living there now?
No, they have their
Who is the man
temporary-
and woman with the little kids playing out?
I made them bring that temporary out, so there's no one living there.
In the back north side?
Not anybody I know of.
There's usually a man and woman, because I live on that street. and 2 little kids out there
There's an
playing.
adjacent property that's on GNS mobile home park over there.
You know, this is right by.
Right. But what I'm saying is there's an adjacent property.
Okay,
There's people that are living there that are working over at George's as well, and are relatives of his that probably cross over from both of them.
Yeah, that's what we'd heard. We'd heard somebody living there. You know, George, the pictures that, and here's some of the pictures that were taken of this year, matter of fact. I'll show you. You can look through these, George. These were the pictures was taken when Damon looked up there and that was, of this year.
Well,
That's why she-
Damon was out there.
It's been longer than 2 weeks.
Well,
We did.
2.5, maybe, since the other meeting.
Is that when Kenny was out there?
Well, anybody else on the council weigh in on this? It's just like speaking, this is speaking just for myself, George. It looks, we knew to make that habitable and pass all the inspection was going to be quite an investment to get that done. And we can't leave this as an open-ended timeframe. You said that it will be done, both homes will be done October the 23rd.
Why couldn't we use that property for the house for storage? Is that's the thing that needs to be stored. I mean, we've been rocking here up.
So I guess what you're, and please correct me if I'm wrong, what you're telling us, the house cannot be fixed up to be
No,
habitable.
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. When you, in January or March, you got into it on the 22nd of December. And that's left We have started to get some windows in those back before 2007 when that recession started. And as you probably remember, in 2008, there was a housing bubble. And you went into depression, lasted about 10 years. And on 2013, my wife and I both started having very serious health problems. She was in the hospital, nursing home, 2 solid years, and she had 4 operations. Didn't know if she'd ever get home. But she did, and after she'd been home about 3 years, we checked on what she'd been charged in the state.
But also too, George, and Beth told us this, that the house on Washington Street, you were gonna move your mother inside, and that's what that you plan to do. Is that still holding true?
Since 2013, I was in the hospital 4 times. First time, I was didn't get back home 6 weeks. And I was in 3 more times. I was in the hospital at Columbus for a solid week. I had sepsis. I
Right.
almost died. And they billed me $55,000 for 1 week.
It's not cheap, George, I know that.
These things really come into play. And I don't know what, these properties, and he was working on those properties before he put them in. He was there working. Up on Main Street, we'd been there 3 years. I'd had a groundskeeper. We built 3 new porches, like 80 running feet, $12,000. Had the house painted. It would look nice, and put on about 1,900 square feet of different areas. And we had started there, and we had started on Washington Street. I had, with some help, I had replaced the glass in several windows and broken out, and I repaired the front porch. It was a new wraparound. I was amazed that I could only stand up about 4 hours. And I just
Can I ask you another thing, George? What do you plan to do with those 2 houses?
Well, with this house,
And the one on Washington Street is her house, not yours?
what you do with the one on Main Street, depends on what you supposed to do on that amendment you're doing, the ordinance you're doing, regarding apartments and residential rentals. So, we thought about, when we bought the house, which as I said is very solid, we thought about putting a little museum in there. I'm not saying we will, but we're considering it.
Putting a what in?
A museum.
Oh,
I have nothing to do.
right, yes, I know that.
All right.
Um,
Well, George, I won't let you belabor the points. Anybody else got the end? Oh, it's, if I understand it, that by October 23rd of 2023, both houses will be able
That's
to
our
pass
goal.
inspection.
With that 30-day grace period. And we're saying it needs to be done yet.
As long as the county building inspector is approving whatever it is, whether it's a business entity, for storage or whatever, or residential, if he's approved through the building permit, the electrical and the plumbing in October, and then of course, it meets the aesthetic things that are required. I don't see anything else that.
No.
It looks
That's
a
who we
lot
have to
better.
rely on at this
I
point.
agree that it looks a lot
Yeah, I
better,
agree.
and I think we all do. But it just didn't seem to be going in the right direction there for a while. It looks much better than it did now.
Yeah,
But before you
telling you.
started doing something with that, that was in danger of just falling in on someone.
I'm telling you, it's very structurally sound. There's some cosmetic things to do with.
Well, okay,
I think all that aside, I think we're going to rely on whatever Kenny has to say.
Yeah.
As far as structure, building, whatever else. That takes my personal input out of it, takes your personal input out of it, gives us a third party to say, this has got a stamp that whatever's been done has been done.
if they okay your permits and they okay what you have done, then we will okay it, won't we? Okay? But it needs to be done by, what'd you say?
October 23rd.
Or
Well,
at least close.
He just said October of 23, not
Okay.
23rd. So we had
Okay, and I stand corrected,
put on the agenda for the
in
13th
October
of
2023.
November.
Yeah.
That'd be the
If
next
it's
meeting
done
after
in
October.
October, then November meeting, you would have the, thing from Kenny.
You finished with me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, you need to sit
Thank
down.
you.
Thank you.
And George will hold you to it.
Well,
You say that you'll do it.
I think
yeah, I'm holding you to it too. You know what we said about a handshake or a man's word? Remember that?
It's okay, George. You can go back and sit down.
Okay.
Okay, next on the agenda
Hey,
is,
wait a minute.
What?
You're gonna do the house on,
oh, I'm sorry.
No, he
yeah.
said both houses.
Well, I have maybe an amendment for a phone call that I had this morning. I
Okay,
just want to let you know where I'm at on my house,
which, yeah, the Washington Street.
Washington.
Yes, go ahead, Brett, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's my issue. So that house is not on city water or sewer. So I'm in the process of getting the sewer tested, or the septic tested. It has to be scoped out to make sure that there's no, blockages or anything like that. The guy that does that is on vacation, so when he gets back, he's gonna call me. When he's done with that, Joel Hughes, who was recommended by Kenny Tuning, is going to come out and do the testing. I've got a clean out scheduled, assuming that it's in good working order. On top of that, I received a phone call today, which may amend the October 2023 date. I've been in contact with Tyler Bridgehorn to come and continue to work on the house,
Okay.
but he is probably 3 months out. So I just want to full disclosure, you know, that,
Beth, I need to ask you.
Yeah.
About the trash that was left in the fields between here and Columbus from your house. You had somebody to load it up and they supposed to have took it to the landfill, which right now is illegally for Decatur County people to put our trash in the landfill in place.
okay,
Whoever you had doing that got you in a big hurt.
okay,
And I kind of smoothed things over because the lady went back out and cleaned it all up.
well, I appreciate it.
But I think that you need to be very careful who you get to take your trash away and make sure they do it the right way. And, you know, they found how we knew it was you, we found your name on the license. I got a complaint from the people who did that. That's not right. I wouldn't
No,
want
that's not
somebody
right.
to do that.
No, and I have no idea.
We heard 2 or 3 stories, or they did, heard 2 or 3 stories about this one person was supposed to go to the landfill. She had a reunion and was taking care of 6 kids, and she got there and it was closed. So she came back home and someone else was supposed to take it back when it opened, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever, it ended up in several people's fields out that side of town. I'm sure you know where whoever you hired surely told you about it.
Actually, no, this is the first time I'm hearing it.
Are you kidding me?
No,
It was couches and you name it. It was everywhere. That all of the garbage that you took out of his house up at the end of the street ended up in people's fields. Now, you're darn lucky because you could have been cited for that. The lady could have been cited for it. That lives up there in the garage. I forget what street that is now. She's the one that did it, the blonde-headed lady that was up there at George's house. She's the one that supposedly got someone else to take it when it was closed. Well, it just seems strange that it was thrown out maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
right,
Make sure those people understand that they are not to leave that there. They could have took it back home and took another car and went to their
Right.
family together or whatever. I will not be so kind.
okay.
I know you wouldn't appreciate something doing it.
No, not at all.
I
No,
know that those folks didn't appreciate it either.
no.
But anyway, I just wanted to remind you, if you're going to clean up something, please do it right. Please use some people that you could trust to make sure it gets where you want it to go and so forth and so on, because I think everybody that, I mean, I appreciate her going back out and cleaning all that up after she done it. I appreciate that.
Right,
But even still, it's not right.
no, that should have never
The
happened.
neighbors out there didn't
No,
like that at all.
No.
But anyway,
No.
that's all I want to say to
and just so
you.
you know, I,
And again,
Yeah.
your house is looking better, but please do what the zoning board and what the building commission and the county ask you to do, because we're the last ones on the list. You have to please them first.
right, that's what I'm
And if
in
you
the
can't
process of
please
doing.
them, then we can't do anything for you. So kind of keep it going where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be going.
Yeah, well, that's what I just said, that I'm doing.
So I do know that Tyler is backed up. I will look into it.
Yes, I do
For me.
too. I have him on the list.
Would you be able to come back at the September 11th meeting? Let us know where he's
Yes.
at with that,
Yes,
because that would put about 3 months out.
As
He
long as
might
we
be able
know
to
he's
start.
working, we know that you're at least working on it, right, John? As long as we know he's out there. we know.
Well, and that way October doesn't roll around and we're expecting her to have something complete where,
right.
Right.
you know,
just
maybe
getting
he's not going to
started.
start till the 1st of October. So at least we'll have a notice ahead of time.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Thank you, Beth.
okay,
I mean, that's the thing. We want to see progress and keep things, and when it stalls out, and that we ask you to come to council meeting, don't show up, and that leaves it open to a lot of miscommunications. That's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, thank you.
all right, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the,
Before we move on, we have a formal vote on those properties, just so that the minutes can reflect exactly when we will be setting each of them. So
Okay.
if we could have a motion on 508 North Range Street, and
So-
we'll have a separate motion on 728 Washington.
So motion for 508 North Range to allow George's October 23 completion and review with the county. Make a motion for that.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye.
Make a motion to extend the 728 Washington Street based on the contractor's timing for the September 11th update.
I make the motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That take care of it, Alex. Thank
For the 508 North Range Street, we'll go to the next meeting that they'll need to attend.
It'd be November 13th, I think it was. Yep.
you. All right.
And George, if you can't come, you could send the representative, can't you? Alex?
Yeah, I know that.
I think Beth is coming to pass for him. That's fine.
Services to the family.
Okay.
So, if the council will allow, he can appear by council as well.
Okay.
We've allowed Beth to do it in the past too, so.
Jenny, did you have the paperwork to sign for the contract? Today at 10 o'clock, we unsealed the bids for the paving contract. We only had two people, two contractors, All Stars Paving Incorporated Seymour and Dave O'Meara, contractor North Vernon. The All Star Paving Incorporated, well, originally the engineering estimate for the project was $619,074. However, the All Star Paving Incorporated at Seymour put in a bid of $573,000. Then Dave O'Meara come in about $100,000 less than that at $474,812.95. What we need to do is approve and sign for the contract with Dave O'Meara.
Okay. Is that just your signature? I think that generally is just,
Yeah, I have it here, John.
Oh, you got it?
that's generally just the
Say I-
president.
Actually, on one page, I'll need all three of these, and one page.
Okay.
All right, well, bring them on up so we can sign them. And that says we're
Did he
putting
say-
sidewalks down Poplar Street?
Um,
No,
I need all three.
not on this one.
Probably.
I just need, I believe Harry is going to be here.
Yens? All three of Yens?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Whatever. Right?
I was going to ask you, Tom, in the state of Indiana, if a person's in the crosswalk, are people supposed to stop?
Okay,
I don't know.
so we're accepting the lowest bid, right?
I'd say it is.
With O'Meara.
Yes.
Okay, do it.
I didn't want to say it was if it. Okay. Well, because some people
Go.
on the cross at the post office,
I'm
cross
sorry.
street, people used along by them. And they were kind of worried about maybe somebody between two
I
sides of
need
the
to
streets. would
hear
get
for.
hit. So, does that sound
So it's not on here. We need the report
I'd have to
from you.
review it.
Okay.
See if
It's
there's
just-
an ordinance
yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, okay, and there's another one,
They just need
Ready Joyce.
vice presidents and presidents. Yes,
Excuse me.
listen,
Yes.
somewhere in here we need the community board to speak.
Okay, I'll put that on.
Just a little one, just a little thing.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we'll put it. I have another thing come before us. It's for the town of Westport, design and submittal of new lift station and generator. And it's dear Mr. Ball, this letter certifies that the town council of Westport approves the design of a new lift station generator to be located on parcel and for submittal to the Decatur County Area Planning Commission for review and approval. The design will include new pipes, manholes associated with connection of the new lift station to the existing collection system that serves the town of Westport. And what I'm seeking from the town council is approval for making that design.
I make a motion that we accept the,
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. One thing I may, part of this project and the reason why we're doing it is twofold. Because that we can add more building onto the town of Westport. However, another thing, if you remember back, we lined the system and spent quite a bit of money to do that. However, item come back, they moved the goalposts. So what we originally thought when we were taking, no, that's incorrect. We thought that we'd taken care of that problem. No, when item moved the goalposts, they're saying, no, you still have a problem with inflow. And Damon, what's the new measurement now? Manhole to manhole? How do they measure our inflow now that changed into the system going to the sewer plant?
About the water intrusion.
A big pardon?
I guess I'm not sure what you're at.
We were talking about that items, we're still, they're telling us we still need work to reduce the inflow, correct?
Right.
But then how we measured it to begin with and how we measure it now, that they changed the criteria. That's how.
Well, it's measured the same way, but I think what you're asking is before each, whenever you had a rain event, you had an overflow.
Right,
Each rain event was considered an overflow.
right,
And that's when we had a major problem. Well, when they did the project, they actually put the overflow down. These are just numbers. It's a lot.
right,
Well, after we done the project, IDM has changed the rules where now they don't go by events, they go by per manhole. even though you still only
Yeah.
have one event.
That was it.
overflow, if-
Could be 6 overflows.
Yeah,
Could be,
if 6 manholes are overflowing, that's considered 6 overflow.
Right.
So no, it's not, in my opinion, as bad as they seem to make it sound, but it does sound that way.
It's the same problem, a different way to
Yeah,
address it or
the
to
project
count
took care
it.
of a lot of the infrastructure that's coming in. But since they changed it from event to per manhole, it looks like we're back up to where we was.
But we're still in the same category.
But we're still technically in the same category for the event.
Okay.
The overflows in here is all.
Right.
Yeah, it helped, yeah, now we overflow for hours versus days.
Right. And part of this new project's to address that as well, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to, basically, the side of the line, and take care of a lot of the infrastructure problem. We're supposed to be able to get the water to the plant quicker. And since we'll be discharging 24/7 versus having to store it, we can take on that extra water and not have a manhole out of that building.
Okay. All righty, next on the agenda. Well, two things concern some people. Out there at the crosswalk between the post office and the other side of the street, it seems like there was concern or relayed to us as a town council that some people were not paying attention when they were driving through that and just keep zipping on by. And there's some people, especially our elderly people, that were kind of worried about it. If they get in the crosswalk, they're subject to getting hit. And so I just wanted to pass that along to the audience here and the people that watch on TV, that we need to be careful when we're passing that area, that kind of slow down and watch for people in the crosswalk. And I don't know, if you go to some other states, sometimes you've got to stop. If somebody gets and steps in that crosswalk, you stop right now.
Right. Pedestrians are always.
Yeah, pedestrians are always that, and I just wanted to pass that along. Another thing is, was a concern too, that seems like people from Pavies to almost the, where we got the sign posted that says how fast you're going, people are at certain times kind of going pretty fast. And that's some of the people in that area would want us to address that issue. And then we've got somebody that habitually likes to be blowing four-way stops all the time. And we need to kind of be careful on that and address that. And we will address it, but it's kind of an FYI right now.
Well, just living in Westport, I will tell you, just probably 90% of the people in town do not stop at any stop sign.
You know, they're not stopping at any of them. And then it was relayed from the Westport Christian Church, Monday night's food pantry. Okay, we've got somebody on Rain Street on the north and south during the food pantry time. They just, on Mondays, they whoop, just blow that four-way. And so people were kind of concerned with children out there passing out food and going back and forth across the streets, that somebody's going to get hit one of these days. And I wanted to publicly say that that's something we're going to be working on as well. But so please, you see your neighbors or friends or whatever, that area, some areas are more critical than others, but they need to stop. I mean, stop, get a stop.
Harry, I'd like to
Yes, go
say
ahead,
something
please.
about that too. I can remember, and I don't remember when we did it, that we said okay to the Christian church putting in crosswalks. And what I've observed, because I'm sitting right there,
Right.
looking out my kitchen window fixing supper when you guys do that, or when they do that, instead of a child or an adult going across this street, they jaywalk all the time.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's-
So it works both ways.
That's
If,
right.
if the people have to watch that stop sign, which you should anyway, then the people that go across the street over to this parking lot need crosswalks. You've come and asked for that, and we never did it. Remember?
I don't know that I personally asked for it.
Well, you asked, someone
But
from the church came and asked for crosswalks. Crosswalks doesn't mean it's jaywalked. It means it goes, you go
But I
like this
believe
to
we
go
had
to
to
the
follow
law.
some kind of state guideline in order to do that.
Have a traffic study done, and I remember that meeting.
We did do that, didn't we?
Stop sign, but I don't know if they agreed with it.
Because there's some
Did
kind
we?
of state requirement, we have to have some study done in the state. Yeah, and that's what the halt on that. But yes, you're supposed to go corner to corner.
Yes. So is there a reason why we don't have like a stripe there?
Because we can't without a proper state study.
Then how can we stripe it anywhere else?
It had to be either, one, been a state study done, or two, it was done without the state study and we're entitled.
All right, next on the agenda from the.
Also, last meeting, I had tabled, somebody brought up the idea of citywide 20-mile-an-hour speeding ordinance. I asked everybody that would be in favor of it or not in favor of it to come to the meeting and discuss. I don't know if anybody had showed up to discuss that since speeding's on the agenda. Well, an unposted residential street is 30 miles an hour according to state statute. Well, but 30, when you're standing, when you're in your car at 30 miles an hour after getting off of State Road 3, you feel like you're standing still, okay? But when you're standing at the corner and somebody comes by you at 30, 35 miles an hour, it feels like they're doing 70. You know, it's a difference. So the perception's much different when you're out of your vehicle as when you're in it. You know, so when you're standing out there sitting at the end of the driveway or somebody's coming by your golf cart as you're going by, you probably feel like they're going an excessive amount of speed, but it's very easy to misjudge that speed, especially when you're outside of your vehicle, you're standing by there. I'm not saying that they don't. You know.
The whole problem of issuing more tickets. This town can make a mint and say they should.
No, we can't.
That's true.
I will tell you
No, we can't.
that there becomes a very good balance, because I will tell you, out of experience, I was an officer here in Westport, okay? I will issue ticket to 90% of the people that live inside these town limits on a regular basis for blowing stop signs and speeding. Is that something we really want to do? How far do you take it? And how does that affect your relationship with everybody in the community? So it becomes very difficult to really weigh that. You hope that stopping them and talking to them without issuing any paper works. But there are a lot of people in this community, and people that do a lot for the community and over the years that they'll do 40 down the 20-mile-an-hour speed side. They will blow 5 stop signs in a row. Yes, sir. No. And I'm not saying that. But it creates difficulty in order, there's a balance to be had. Okay? So.
This is another reason why, too, that not everybody gets ticketed, okay? In Westport, we have no court, we have no judge.
It doesn't matter. It's a state statute.
It's a state statute,
It follows
that's
state,
right.
it follows
But
state ordinances.
if they gave out 25 or 30 tickets today, Westport would get $4 of that.
Well, it's not about the money. It's about
Well,
creating the safety.
It's
of
about the
community.
money quite a bit.
So that way the kids that are actually outside, the parents aren't worried about my grandchild getting.
Yeah.
hit
I mean-
in the yard.
Right,
No agency makes any money off of it, and that's not the
No.
point of it.
it's not the
You
point, but
know, and the
that's,
state doesn't make money off of it. It goes to court fees to pay the
right,
courthouses.
it's all the court fees.
So
And
it's,
it also falls back on when we have 2 officers in the town to try to keep track of everything that goes on.
Right. If you think about how many people are hit and ran over in, say, Indianapolis, okay? Per capita, we don't have that many people get run over here. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. And people here pay more attention. I wouldn't live anywhere else. If the kids are not paying attention and the mothers aren't making them pay attention, they may run out in front of you. I've had that happen. But I have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. We're adults, we're not kids. So I think that per capita, we've got, I would still live here before I'd ever go to the city.
But aside
That's
from
just
that,
one thing to think about.
I have been on vacation for an extended period of time. But as I told you before, I will be getting with Deputy Lozier to start a different type of enforcement. And that is still going to happen. Mary, did you have something? Yeah. When they're coming off the stop sign.
Yes. It is really bad. And I'll tell you what I found too, and you probably all realize this, you come off the interstate at 70 and you get on the bypass, there's so many people passing you because they're still going 70. And they don't realize that they're, and like he said, when you come into Westport, you've been running down at 55. They want to stay at 55, don't they?
But
And that's just human nature, isn't
It
it?
is human.
yeah, that's something that's been brought to our attention, and that's something we're going to start addressing.
Yes.
Because here's the way it goes. If people kind of police themselves and take care of their own problem, but then when it gets out of hand, then that's where we're going to step in and do something about it. Let's put it that way. Oh, okay, next. The building committee. Wait a minute.
Wait,
Damon.
it's Damon.
Oh, you're on the building committee? No. They mean the
Community building.
community building, I'm sorry. We're gonna have the
She
in-person.
is, that's what he's with
Oh, he's with
them
us?
tonight. He
Oh,
is.
okay, all right,
He's here to speak of them.
all right. I got you.
Okay.
I was all confused. All right.
Basically took bids on replacing the vinyl and doing the exterior work to the building. You all know the windows are scheduled, locks are in the process of getting changed. These bids consisted of taking off all the vinyl, replacing it with metal, redoing the soffit and the gutters, and all the trim. I did have 3 quotes. One company called me Thursday and asked me to remove their quote. So they're just too busy, don't want to mess with it. So we was down to 2. One of them was the Heartland Construction at $23,306. And the other one, Morris Construction at $25,100. And the community board, your board members voted to go with the cheaper one. So I was asking for your blessing to move forward with that.
I make the motion that we vote on that.
Second.
On favor? Aye.
Aye. And Damon, how many windows are in this building? Do you know?
I want to say,
There's 20
I
somewhere
didn't
there.
have those estimates with me.
Okay,
I think
that's
there was
fine.
11, if I
Okay.
remember right.
And you're
Well,
talking about the soffits and the vinyl
and the gutters.
and the gutters.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad.
The next thing, the the water treatment plant lake cleanouts. I thought I would have 3 estimates for you folks, but it's just not been possible. I've reached out to several different companies and they're all willing to come and suck them out, dredge them out, clean them out, but not do the IDEM testing. None of them are IDEM approved to do it their way. So I reached out to Alex to ask what to do and he suggested what we needed to do. So I've done that. I got 2. I was supposed to have 2 other estimates to just clean them out from companies that's not certified. I did get one of those, and the other one was supposed to have it to us today. He did not respond by the time we had the meeting. So basically, we're back to the original estimate of the company that's certified to do the work. Now, these companies here can, and I've told them this, they can reach out to this company that are certified to see if they can do the work of cleaning it out and hauling it, under them, because that's what they're going to do is get somebody to do that. And maybe that will reflect the price some. But other than that,
It's expensive.
I mean, it is, yeah, it's expensive and it is what it is at this point. I don't know what else to do.
I think they have to do that because if you just had anybody to do it, they could put it out on your field. You can't do
Well,
that.
and that's what, that was the
There's-
cheaper price.
Yeah, of course.
With them cleaning it out, we take it out to the sewer and store it and let it dry out and then get a permit to land apply it. That was the cheaper route. That was the 39,835, or taking it to the landfill was the 52,585. That's also him getting rid of the stockpile we already have from the lagoon we were cleaning about 2 years ago. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the only thing we have to do is accept this bid and move. If not, we're going to end up getting fined. I mean, it's got to be done.
Well, we've done our due diligence trying to get other approved
Yes, we have.
companies. I mean,
You
that's all
can't,
that we're gonna get. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't.
very expensive.
I don't think there's anything for you to sign. I guess you just vote on it, and I'd reach out to this company and move forward with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that form of a motion.
I will make the motion that we move forward on this. I'm familiar with what IDN makes you do. So,
A second.
On favor? Aye.
aye.
The next thing is the property at 301 East Sycamore was asked to bring this back. He had until February to come into compliance. He did call me over there. We did walk through it, and there were still several roaches and feces and stuff in the apartment, so obviously it didn't pass, and I have not heard from him since that time. He was supposed to come back with me when he sprayed the whole building, got rid of them. I've not heard nothing out of him, so he's asking the board to move forward with what their next steps
Those are the
was.
apartments.
Yeah. Because he does have, I don't know if I was left the exact number, but I do know he had several fines that you guys had put on the property. Yeah, I don't, I don't know the amount of that, but basically just asking to move forward with the next steps on that property.
I make the motion
That's been since
that we move
February, and like I say, here it is July, so I haven't heard back from him.
Any thoughts?
We'll just move forward with the next steps on East Sycamore. We'll get that. It would be, what does that look like at this point?
Proceed
I made the
further.
motion.
Okay, got a
Are
second?
we looking at going,
I don't know, this has been, we've been sort of talking about it.
No, I don't think it wasn't in the litigation stage yet. It was just with the town sending a compliance letter. If it wasn't done by a certain day, they'd find him. And, which they had done that, and then I said he called for inspection. Didn't pass. He contacted again for no. So I don't know exactly what steps,
so we just send another letter for compliance?
yeah. Actually, it's not one to be tore down or nothing like that. Just want to get rid of it. We got several complaints of the people living there, that all the apartments were full of roaches and mice. Just trying to get that resolved. It's healthier for people.
Good.
Okay. Before I go around the room, I got one thing kind of as a clarification since I was on vacation last time. The reason, maybe squelch some rumors, the reason that we were putting on the ballot a 5-member town council, and that's not 5 at the same time, it'd be staggered election. I went around before I got on the town council. I talked to several towns here in Indiana, and most of them was moving to a 5-member town council for a lot of reasons. One of the areas I called was New Palestine, and the reason they did because they had 2 people in the hospital at the same time. That's a possibility. Another reason is we get more and more and more regulations coming down from both the state and the federal government. With this ADA, and Damon's the ADA coordinator for the town of Westport, we had to do certain steps on things. The item rules keep getting stricter and stricter. There's more guidelines and things that we have to follow than we did before. It's not just an easy thing to do. So with any town council, there's a learning curve, and it takes a little bit to learn about the budget, the regulations. You can get on the town council and think you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. That's not necessarily so. You're constrained by certain laws, you're constrained by ordinances, and you have to know that. Another thing too, because we're a 3-member town council, I have a meeting every Thursday before the Monday night meeting with the engineering company. That's just me. These other twos can't attend. If we have a 5-member town council, then we can do 2 people can meet with no problem. By the open door policy, I'm not to discuss policy outside of this room or a public hearing on most everything, or we have to have a public meeting. If there's 5 people on, we can discuss with another town council member of certain things that are going on or certain things that needs to be done. Where at this, the only time we can discuss it is right here in our meeting, or we still got to have a public meeting. And another thing too, it's the knowledge base. You have to know so much anymore. There's grants available out there. There's this, there's this, there's this. And like next year, well, before next year's over with, we got to do a lead study for the town. We're in the process of getting money for that, so that doesn't come out of the town budget. Okay, it just seems like we get more and more and more of this, and how the town has to comply with things. And it makes you wonder sometimes if the state and the federal government really wants small towns. This is just my personal opinion, with all the regulations that we have to face and come across. It wasn't my intention or purpose to open it up to 5 people. Some rumor in town, well, I'm trying to get everybody that's running for town council on the town council. No, that's not true. It's just a staggered election. It goes before the town, and let the townspeople vote on it. If they want to do it, then they'll vote yay. If they don't want to do it, then they vote no, and we proceed on with 3 town council members. But that's the reason why, and some other reasons too, that I want, when I first got on the town council, I want Westport to prosper. I want Westport to grow in the right way, because we need to. Some of the problems that we have and the cost with the sewer and water bill, some of that we need to grow out of if we can. I know for a fact that from conversations with other people, it's kind of like Westport's on its own in a way. So we have to come up and be innovative in what we do and what we look for. Okay, with more people on the town council, then certain people can be devoted to certain areas and handle that area, instead of just a few of us trying to handle so much. Because believe me, I've really been busy on this stuff because I wanted to, but I see gaps and things that should be taken care of, that could be taken care of, that for the 3 of us, it's kind of hard to handle. And like Damon, not only is he public works superintendent, like I said, he's ADA superintendent, and he's handling a whole lot more things too, there and other things. But anyway, that's the reason why I was proposing for the 5 town council members. Right or wrong, we'll know here pretty soon when November election time comes. You can vote for it. If you don't think it's a good idea, then you vote against it. But if you sit on this side of the table and you see all that's done, that needs to be done, and all the things that we see coming down from the state and federal government and the environmental people and all that, I want to tell you people, it's not going to get any easier. It's just not. They want cleaner air, cleaner water, cleaner this, and the buildings and things like that, this isn't gonna go away. I wish it was, but it's not. And to top that off, and I'll say this too, because it's true, that there's some people that are handicapped that have been going around suing small towns and cities for not being ADA compatible. Okay? That means that we've got to always have a plan of how we're going to do this and do this and do this, because that's coming and that's happening. There's people on that bent. We think that it won't affect the town of Westport, that we want to make sure as a town council that we're prepared just in case it does. Because if you're not prepared, the consequences of it, you guys will pay for the lawsuits. Anyway, enough said. Okay, I'll go around the room now. Damon, do you have anything more to say? You done? Sure?
Wait a minute, we're not done.
Huh? We're
You
not
have
done?
to take the secretary for the community building.
On what?
You have to ask the community building secretary what they
Oh, I'm sorry.
come up with tonight.
Okay, I neglected you. I apologize for that. Joyce pointed out we need to,
You didn't? You voted and you, yes, read the minutes and then tell them who, everyone.
Oh, yeah,
is
who
and
the
your
officers are, that's
Yes, the
right.
officers and your minutes.
and I didn't mean to slide in, if you would, could you come up here to the podium?
Going back to what he was talking about just for a second here.
Okay, the
when-
community building board members met this evening to start appointing our president, secretary, treasurer, and vice president. Appointed this evening were Connie Davis as president. Vice president will be Barb Winchester. Secretary will be Melissa Deppie. Treasurer, Jennifer Ribbs.
All right.
We talked with Damon about kind of what our budget is, what we need to look for, what your expectations are of us. We did hear some different things of what they are going to be doing. So now we kind of have an idea of what we need to kind of look at to see where else can be improved.
Okay.
Anything else?
I just wanted to tell you when Damon goes through doing the things that you guys are a big part of, then it comes to us, as you saw tonight, and then approved or disapproved. But I think you figured that out.
Yep.
Yeah, by yourself, didn't you?
And it's an adjustment time and it's a growing time, and we
Yeah, we're
appreciate you
learning.
volunteering to do this.
Yep.
Oh, you can, yeah, I guess.
What's that?
What was that?
Oh, the colors that's been picked
Yeah,
for
I-
the
I
windows and
discussed
stuff.
the, colors that you make sure you have real big of that. I'm following that.
Oh, we got colors picked out
Yeah,
already?
they
Hey,
picked
good.
out for the, basically where the vinyl's at now, they wanted the, burnished slate.
Great.
With white trim, basically the
Oh, that
gutters,
sounds-
the overhang, and the corners will all be, and along the bottom, where
Right.
it overlaps the stone, would be white.
Yeah. Well, good.
That's fine. If you guys want to say anything else, I feel bad about slighting you. Now you're a part of this, so speak up and just say, Harry, wait a minute, you forgot me.
I needed to say something
Yeah,
to
go
what
ahead.
Harry was saying a while ago about, this is so different than it was just since I started 8 years ago. It is tough, guys. So if you want to be on that 5-man team, which I think somebody should do this, know that it's not easy, but it's so rewarding to know that you're doing something for your community. I always ask myself, does the people that live here want, what do they want? You know, what do they want? And regardless of what I think or what I would choose, it has to be the group of people doing this for you. So welcome to part of it anyway. I mean, I just
Uh,
keep going, keep getting more,
I mean, that's our
just
goal.
caring.
Yeah. And that's our goal, to build our community. And there's adjustments to be made, and Alex told me too, and this is true. Sometimes there's growing pains, but we'll get it all figured out.
There's a lot of work to it.
Yeah, there is. And another thing too, which you guys aren't privy to, from it's called AIM, we get text messages all day long from all over the state of Indiana of what the different town councils do against town managers, and oh my goodness, must get 10, 15 a day of what's going on within the state of Indiana, and that's a part of it.
Right.
Of what we see of all their problems from food vendors. What do you do about this? 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 And that gets about 15 a day that I go through or more. Some of them I delete, but
And they go out to all of us.
they
not
go out
just
to all of us as town council members.
And you're required by AIM to go to meetings. You have to do it. You have to go to a meeting to be what you are. We go. I'm going next month.
We
Who else is
said,
going
we
to
sit
meetings?
in on Zoom meetings sometimes, and we've got to be
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there.
you can do some Zooms.
We do a lot of Zoom meetings.
Plus, the county is going to ask you, if you're on this board, to do some of the work for the county. I'm on the zoning board. He's on, one of you guys on
Solid waste.
solid waste, and I think even Brian still, do you do any Southern Indiana regional planning? I do that. You do that too?
Serpcas.
Sir,
Serpcas another one.
yeah.
Anyway,
So-
that kind of gives you a broad idea. That's,
Work
that's the basis of trying to expand to a 5-member board. It's just,
It would be helpful.
it would be helpful. Anyway, Barb, did you have anything you want to say? Sure.
Good night.
Next,
Just want to say good.
anything more? Connie? Oh, I'll go back over here.
No, she's,
No, she said behind her she does.
Oh, behind her? Oh, you do?
You
I'm
can't
sorry.
see Karen.
I'll go this way.
Stand up, Karen.
Yeah.
There.
At my house. And last week. The one guy took radio out one, I don't think I really want off, because he walks around every night to check, make sure everything's locked up. About 3 days ago, that one of the neighbors called and has some storage in that position with wide open. So, watch out.
Yeah.
I made a report both times. I don't know if they said anything to Westport, police yet or not. Watch
There
out.
is people, we have a lot of new people in town, lots of new people in town. I see it because they go by our house.
But, you don't want to say anything, so you know for sure.
Oh, yeah, most of them are very nice.
The radio.
Breaking
put it
in.
out about, about
Taking
that
radios.
It's about him to them, but still, they're not new vehicles or anything.
All right. Thank you.
Jennifer.
I can't see the Mary back. You have anything? Mary? I'm sorry, Mary.
Stand up, Mary.
Mary,
Please stand up.
yeah, could
I
you stand up?
can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
A couple years ago, before the pandemic, we were working on an ordinance for people that just leave their dogs out constantly, and they yap constantly.
It's
Anything else?
we've updated the animal ordinance.
We passed that.
Yeah, Mary, we did. And if you have any problem with a certain area, come down to town hall and let us know. And I'll get together with animal control, because I've been up there.
Doesn't necessarily have to be animal control. Our officers here in town can issue town ordinance
Yeah,
fines.
yeah. All right.
There is an ordinance, though, that you have to have them quiet down after a certain.
Yeah,
We did
there are
pass some
fines
ordinances.
associated with it.
Mary,
that-
I don't know if you heard what John said. Could you repeat it?
So the officers in town can issue local ordinance fines. The county cannot. So the county can ask for them to bring them inside or to, to keep it down. But again, there's no noise ordinance. But if you bring that complaint to the town hall, they can follow up with that. And if necessary, issue a fine. I'm sorry.
Do we still have a leash law?
There's no leash law in Indiana. Nope.
Dolores, you got anything?
We still have a only burn yard, yard stuff. in Vermont.
Natural,
Right?
correct. Yep. Yeah, you're not allowed to burn trash.
Um,
You cannot burn trash.
cannot burn
State
trash.
ordinance. Yep.
Okay.
Brian, you have anything?
What about the windows on the community building? I heard they mention it. Who's doing it?
With the world out of Columbus.
Okay.
And they approved last meeting order, and they were about 60,000. So they got them over the coverage.
And I'm working with the library still on the high-speed internet. Vanessa said she's still working on it. Their people looked at their equipment, so we're waiting to get back with them.
On the graveyard, where, for everything,
Mm-hmm.
city, did a great job. Everything you need, and you did a good job.
Thank you.
Well,
We don't usually hear that, do we?
yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
and I'll tell you, and appreciate what you're saying, but Damon had a lot to do with it.
Yes.
And
We all had a lot to do with it.
well, and the town employees had a lot. I went out there and looked at it, and it was, there was a lot of work to be done out there. That's true. Yes.
Is there any chance that we could turn anything in on insurance for the replacement of some of those trees? Or is that being considered?
Well, they called, and obviously, they called the office, I called them back, and back. The way I understood from the water talking to them on Saturday, that we had coverage, and it was some of that. So we're not going to clean up the place. We're trying to figure something out, we're hoping there might be some of the trees, we lost a lot of them.
How many did we lose?
I'm guessing 10 to 15 of them. We still have, we've got all the ground itself pretty much cleaned up. The mowing's a little behind, so please forgive us, but we'll get started. But we have about 6 to 8 trees still got to come out, and most of them are along the field. We're gonna try to get the ones inside done safely without breaking any stones. The ones along the field, to be honest with you, we'll probably wait for this fall when it costs on, so we can just drop them in the field and, drag them up so we're not damaging any more shells.
Thank you, Damon.
Good idea. Lynn, Chair, Russell,
I'm just throwing the way the road is.
all right. Martha? Martha, do you have anything? Bill?
We've got a report on the trash too.
Who does one?
So anything
Oh, fire
related to a burn ordinance would go to the fire department for an illegal burn. So you can contact 911 for an illegal burn. Yeah, it would be, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 222-4911, non-emergency number.
Sure.
Well, we just have to speak up because it doesn't project anything. What it does is it puts us on the internet. It's all for the internet. So it's not projecting anything for this room. It's simply getting us out so people can hear us on the World Wide Web.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
No, Bill,
Don't work it right.
that's something, this is a work in progress. We contacted
Sit in
a
the
few
front.
months ago about putting in some type of speaker system. That's part of it.
Harry's just got to project better.
I know.
That's right.
I
You're a Baptist. You're
apologize.
supposed to sit up here. That's right. You sit in the back. You do at church. Sit up
I
here.
need a button, Bill, that just pushes you to the front. Just kind of rotate everybody. But, yeah, a speaker system, yeah, that's what we're looking into as well. This is kind of a experiment. We're working it out, Bill. All right. I mean, yeah, my ears are going that way too. At least that's what my wife says, but I'm having selective hearing issues.
Selected.
But anyway, if there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We had our Thursday meeting, and I didn't know if we wanted to talk about trees. Would be planted in the place as well as the leaf blowers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you. I'll leave this up on the table and for people to look at. Some people seen this, along this waterway, and you can come up and look at it.
100-year
Department of
flood.
Natural Resources wants us to plant 135 trees. The trees are saplings, not sampling. The trees would be saplings and, small stuff, and they gave us a list here. Okay, some of the project work is being held up because we don't have DNR signed off. So this is something we've got to really work on. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Some people agree to it, some won't. But anyway, the other way that we buy credits. Okay, we were told, excuse me, I'm sorry. We were told these credits would be very expensive. So it would behoove us to get the trees planted somewhere along that waterway. And we need kind of help on that. But anyway, it's free to look at and come up front. Alex is right. That's a problem we've got to solve for the town so we can go ahead and move on the sewer project. Yes.
This study was done during the wastewater
Yeah, for every tree that we take out, we
study
got to
that we
replant
did.
five.
Yes,
Design phase.
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of,
For every tree we have to take out to do the project. we
You have to
require plant 5 trees. That have to be, alive in 5 years.
yeah.
Then in 5 years, the homeowner can do whatever they want to cut down, push all in.
Yeah.
Does everybody hear what Damon said?
It
For every
has-
one tree we take out, we got to plant 5.
it's-
Those trees have to live 5 years.
There actually, it's like, there was a percentage of, I think it was like 70-some% had to survive for 5 years.
Yeah, 70% of the trees that we plant has to last 5 years.
And that has a lot to do with the 100-year flood plan, doesn't it?
I don't understand their concept behind it.
Well, if,
I would say yes. because
Yes, it
all bridges and
does.
stuff Nowadays have to go with 100-year floodplain.
yes, a lot of that is because just what they're doing right now in California with all that water and those houses are going down into holes.
That's just
And all
'cause it's
this.
California.
It's California. It's
But
called-
anyway, that kind of gives you a scope of an idea that we're going to continually face things like this.
The flood plan that Indiana has, though, is required to have them put there to keep people from dying. So you might want to tell them people out there, tells you that they don't want you putting trees on their property. You want to live, don't you?
Anyway, there being nothing, is that all, Alex? But thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
I was looking, you caught me looking at the clock and saying, I'm trying to get out of here by 8 o'clock.
Okay,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
yes.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.
I already signed all mine, so I think he's getting his now and we're done. I like it when somebody comes and gives us a good item to hear about.
Yeah.